Hi, I'm Bhumi. I'm a brand designer, and today I'll be walking you through the complete brand identity system. So, one thing I've been seeing is designers using words like brand identity, visual identity, and a lot of people don't know what that means. So, the purpose of this video is to break the jargon and explain what it actually means, everything that comes inside the brand identity system. So, let's get started. So, here are all the components of a brand identity. It includes strategy, the logo system, color palette, typography, visual elements, and brand guidelines. Now, I'll be explaining each of these components individually so you know exactly how they work for a brand. Starting from the strategy. Now, what does strategy even mean? So, I like to take example of like when you build a house. You don't directly jump into building a house. You plan things out. You create a blueprint. You figure out the layout. You figure out what goes where. And that's exactly what strategy means for a brand. It's basically a blueprint for building your brand. A quick disclaimer, strategy is actually quite comprehensive. So the purpose of this video, I will only be covering the basics. So strategy at its core answers three main questions, which is who you are for, what makes you different, and how should people feel. Now, these three questions answer different parts of a puzzle. First is who you are for. This helps you figure out your target audience. Are you targeting a specific gender? Are you targeting a specific age group? So that influences your brand decision. So let's assume you're targeting women. So your branding should appeal to women. If you're targeting youth, if you're targeting Gen Z, your branding should appeal to Gen Z. Then second question is what makes it different. Now this is all about the USP. Now the chances are you're not going to be the only product or service in the market. So this is basically giving people a reason why they should choose you and not your competitors. So your branding should highlight your USP. The third is how should people feel? Now, people don't connect with a product or a service, they connect with emotions. So, your branding should convey an emotion that people can actually connect with. So, I'll be taking examples of two brands to kind of explain how it works. Starting with the whole truth who they're for, they target fitness conscious people. What makes them different? The USP is all about transparency about ingredients. How should people feel? They feel informed and empowered. And this is the end result. Their branding is a no-nonsense branding that targets fitness-conscious people. And since their USP is all about transparency, they put the ingredients on the front of the packaging so people know exactly what they're eating, which makes them feel informed. Second example is Oatly. Who they're for, they target planet conscious people. What makes them different? It's their personality. Now, there are a lot of brands in the market offering the same product as Oatly. So, what makes them different is the personality. Now, I bet you can't name other brands also selling oat milk, but you know Oatly because of their personality, because their branding has differentiated them in the market. So, people who don't even consume oat milk know who they are. So, that's their USP. And what makes how it makes people feel, it makes people feel amused, guilt free, like they're making a smart choice. And this is the end result of the branding. It is quirky, it is playful, it targets the right people. So that's basically strategy. Moving on to the logo system, this is the second part of the brand identity system, which is the logo. So one logo is not enough. You need variations. Now, this is when it differentiates between the AI generated logos and the logo makers versus professionally designed logos. Because with professionally designed logos, you get variations. The logo generators, they assume that one logo fits all. It just uses that assumption, but that's not actually true in real life. You need variations because the platforms you'll be using your logo in, they'll vary. So this is the primary logo. Now I'll be taking an example of Spotify to explain how a logo system works. This is the primary logo of Spotify. It has both icon and the text. Second is the secondary logo. Secondary logo is basically like a stacked logo. That means the icon is on the top and the text is on the bottom. It's used for like much smaller spaces where the primary logo doesn't fit. The third is the logo mark. This is used when the space is even smaller. Like your brand is gonna show up in in Instagram or LinkedIn or like different social media platforms. So this is for like the profile pictures, a very small space, but your logo should fit there. And the last is the reverse version. So your logo should work in black and white. So if it doesn't, that means the logo is not functional. So logo should work in dark backgrounds and in white background. So that's how a logo system works. Moving on to the third component of a brand identity is the color palette. So again, continuing the example of Spotify, your brand color palette should have a primary logo, which is the primary color used everywhere, secondary logo, which is used for backgrounds and like the main UI, and the third is the accent color and neutrals. Now, the neutrals are used to create hierarchy. So if you open Spotify, the primary color will be green, the background will be black, and the text will have different variations. Not everything is going to be in black and white. To create a visual hierarchy, you use color variations for it. So people know exactly what to look where, and they read information in the right order. Now, this is a screenshot that I've taken from the resource I've created called the Founders Brand Roadmap. If you haven't downloaded it already, I'll be attaching the link in the comments. It's completely free. It helps you figure out what branding you need at what stage. So this is explained in much more depth in the resource. So getting back to the color palette, color palette shows up in three different formats, three different color formats. So the hex codes are used for websites, for web designing. RGB is used for screens, and CMYK is used for print. So to explain a little bit further, let's assume that you are designing some marketing materials to be posted on Instagram. You'll be using RGB because that color is specifically designed to be showing up in digital screens. And CMYK is used for print. That means if you are designing a flyer, a poster, business cards, you will need to use CMYK because the colors are designed to be printed. So that's the color palette. Moving on to the typography. Now, typography has different purposes. The main thing is to convey the personality of your brand and to create a hierarchy so people know what to read first and what to read next. That's how you guide a viewer. So I'll be taking example of Discord to explain typography. Now, this is a screenshot taken from Discord's official website. You can also get it there. If you open Discord's official website, you can download their entire branding kit. So Discord uses a custom typeface, and they have different variations used throughout the typography system. It uses bold for the headlines, medium for the caption and the body copy, and more detailed pieces of the text. So this is what it actually looks like. So this is what you read first, this is what you read next, and this is the body copy. So not only is it readable, legible, works in digital screens because that's where the platform is present, it also conveys the playfulness and the bold personality of Discord. And this is what it looks like in action. The primary font, the secondary, and the body font. Moving on to the next component, which is the visual elements. Now, visual elements can come in various forms, starting with patterns and textures. Now, this is a popular example of Louis Vuitton. They use their signature brand pattern everywhere throughout their packaging, their bags, all their products. You will see this, and it's a recognizable pattern. The next is the shape system. This is something that KFC uses in their branding. They use red stripes all throughout their branding, and that serves as a differentiating factor for them as their signature look. The next is the icon style. This is the example of Airbnb. They have a very unique icon style that they use in their app, which separates them from other apps. And the next is the visual style. Again, taking example of Oakley, they have a very playful, handwritten, quirky visual style that they use. So their illustrations look hand-drawn, their fonts look hand-drawn. They use the color palette is also like very playful and quirky. And the next is the photography style. I've taken example of Nike for that. This is their signature photography style that you will find all throughout their website to highlight their product. Moving on to the next is brand guidelines. Now, this is all about documenting your branding. So this is very important. creating a brand is not enough. You need to know how to use the branding and show up with the same branding everywhere to build recognition. Because if you show up one way on Instagram using another fonts and colors on your website, people are going to be able to recognize you. So brand guidelines help in creating the consistency and for guidance. So you know exactly how to show up. I am taking an example of Discord. This is their brand guidelines that you can find online. It includes everything that we've discussed so far, the logo system, the typography system, the color system, everything there, and the visual elements. So if you're really curious, you can actually go to the official website and you'll be able to see the entire branding guidelines. So you know exactly what real brand guidelines looks like and how it works. So this will help you execute your brand better. So you know exactly how to show up and be consistent everywhere. Because that is how you build recognition. So these are the file formats that a brand identity is typically delivered in. So it includes PDF, JPG, PNG, and AI. So the brand guidelines is delivered in a PDF form. That's something that I do. And the logos are delivered in different variations. JPG is a smaller file size. So there you'll find a lot of platforms who are going to have like file size restrictions. So that's when you use your JPG logos. PNG is a high resolution file format. It's a much bigger file than JPG. And you can use this when you want the resolution to be much higher and better. And AI is the file format of Illustrator, actually. So vector file. That means the elements there are editable. You can use this when you're using custom graphics for your branding. So there you have it. That's the entire brand system. I really hope you guys found the video helpful. And if you did, don't forget to save this for your future reference. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will reply to them. Thanks for watching.